Well, hello again, fellow crafters. This is DM Blairwolf, and I found something here interesting, and I wanted to make a video on it. In this block right here, if you look, I don't know if I can get a good angle on this with the light the way it is. There we go. Get these other two examples out of the way. Right here. See if I can get this in here like this. That spot right there. You see that? That's a bubble in the wall. That happens a lot, like when I'm casting, and I'm using plaster of Paris, so you kind of got to mix it a little thicker if you want these to be more durable. So sometimes you don't always get the that's a good angle right there. You don't always get those bubbles out. Okay? Now, I have a couple people who say, you know, at the game stores and stuff, that pieces like that are just undesirable. Throw them away. Get rid of them. Well, okay. One piece versus so many more. I mean, you know. And I don't really see a need for you to have to get rid of the pieces that do this. In fact, I have a whole pile over here under this rag of ones that break while I'm unmolding them because of the type of plaster I'm using. Like this right here. They kind of break off and they're just undesirable, right? Well, not really. I mean, this could be a tip that everybody already knows. I mean, I'm so far behind. But, you know, like, even this too. See how it's broken? Or it's got a bubble, it just didn't work? Well, I don't throw that away anymore. I used to throw all my stuff away when it was not as I would like it. I've started keeping them, even the little bits and pieces, because you pay for this plaster. I mean, yeah, it's $7 for 4 pounds of it, but this is like little bits of rock that can be used for something. And these can be used for, you know, like scenarios where like a storeroom was broken into and things were knocked over and broken. These little pieces could be parts of walls that were broke off. I mean, this could just be painted, and because this piece is flat in the bottom here, you can take your tool and you could scribe that to look like this over here. In fact, I wanted to do one before I did this video. Damn, I should have done it. Sometimes I get an idea and I just get too far ahead of myself. But you can scratch this out with your pick or your molding tools and make this here look like this enough that this could just be rubble laying, you know, on a piece of, you know, on a tile. Now, again, these bubbles come from that exact same thing, those little air bubbles. But I don't find them desirable. I mean, these I actually would probably fill with some water effect and make it like a spot where moisture's collected, or maybe put some lichen there for some moss, or maybe put some gravel around there so it looks like some place for like a rat to jump out of. This one here's an even better one. This is like a chasm. My God, look at that. That's like horrible. But if you dug down in there enough and painted it, you could put stuff around there and you can make a spot for a rat to jump out. Just a tiny little trap out of nowhere. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. They didn't do a check. They got a rat jumping out at them. Now, on to some other things, like this. When I'm unmolding them and they break, like that, I used to throw this away. It's undesirable, but it can still be used. I mean, it can be used. Here's one. Here's one. I mean, these pieces could be broke off individually and shaped with a file. And it could be just little rocks that you individually pile onto things. Small walls, small sections. I mean, it's still a really nice cast for the most part. And when I'm scraping my molds, everybody's using putty knives and stuff. I just use a baker's knife. I mean, it's the right size, lengthwise or widthwise, up there. I mean, I don't know if you can see that or not. when you put this mold down here, let me move this junk out of the way. When you're casting your mold, I mean, see how wide it is? It's just a baker's knife. I mean, you cut dough with it, dough balls, but it's flat, it's smooth, it's bladed. It works fine. I mean, the types of bottoms it gives me are, you know, pretty smooth and sheen nicely. Here's another one. Well, that one there is probably not so good. That might have been a little later into the smear, I call it. But, you know, a lot of these here, just as reference, I mean, they don't look too bad. I mean, they're just going to be on the bottom anyway, you know. So I kind of think that some of these undesirable quote-unquote pieces, like over here, have a, you know, just a little bits thing. I can use these little bits for anything. Little rocks and things. Broken braziers and stuff. I mean, broken chairs. I mean, these things can be used just as stuff around in scenery. So to say that this whole bowl is what you're after and you should throw that away, I mean, that is still money. And materials and costs, they're very difficult. I mean, I really have started buying larger bottles of paint now that I paint these tiles instead of 2.5D. Now that I do 3D, I buy larger bottles. Smaller bottles from different projects, larger bottles from this. Because I need and I go through so much more. And I just, as I bag up, or as I cast the parts that I don't need right now because they're in the mold, I just pull them out and put them in bags after they dry and set them out. Set them aside. You know, I have little bowls of all kinds of bits and pieces here that I'm never going to use right now. I mean, they're just little skull pieces that break off and skeletal remains and things. I mean, here's a whole bag of them right here. I mean, I don't need them now, but I might need them sooner or later. So, again, this is probably something somebody already knows. But then again, if you're new at this like me, maybe you don't know. I'm trying to pass on what I learn as I learn it because this stuff is not easy. This is a cool hobby, and these are awesome. But getting this down and getting this to work for you, thumbs up wise instead of thumbs down, it's not very easy. And so I want you to see that, you know, these things, these trials and errors, you always got to throw the bad ones away. They can be used for something. And in fact, I will find in the next couple of videos, I will make a video solely on making terrain or already made terrain that I can have painted and show you. Because I really ain't into tutorials so much. I'm usually just showing you what I've already done. Because there's tutorials for everything out there, so why do I gotta make another one? It's just another 8 minutes of your life wasted. Better just show you an end product, and you already know how it got there. We're all crafters here, we can figure it out, I'm sure. But at least the trial and error things, if you're new at this like me, another video pointing out some of these things, or hitting a different angle, or something that could be helpful to someone, that's more like why I'm here. Not to teach you, but to show you that mistakes happen, and they can be worked with. Even if others think they're undesirable, because like I said at the game store, those people, they throw that stuff away. They don't worry about it. So I'm going to wrap up this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I mean, same stuff at the end of the video. But if this is something that you have experienced in yourself, or have something further in tips, or links to videos or whatever that could show me something I'm missing or whatever, please pass that information on. Put it down there in the comments. Put it down there. Give it to the people. Give it to everyone else who checks out my videos. Till next time, keep crafting, and please watch as many videos as you can, become educated, and thank you for your time.